Welcome back to Miss Letter's calculation station where things add up. We are doing the back of the 2.5a labeling. We're doing the revenue function, and the revenue function is going to look like a parabola. So when we're dealing with the parabola, we want to know the height and the width. And to do that, we are going to find the vertex. So to find the vertex, which is going to be x comma y, we're going to find the x, which is negative b over 2a. And do you guys remember your ABCs? Okay, so we have our ax squared plus bx plus c. And so when we're doing this, we have our ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's just the equation of a parabola right here. So we're just going to do a plug and chug. So I'm going to do negative b. Anytime you substitute in using a parenthesis, all over 2a. And it's really important that you do the numerator first, then the denominator. Don't put it in your calculator unless you want to use this handy dandy function, which is this. If you guys look on your calculator and you go alpha y equals, so if you go alpha y equals, it says numerator denominator and hit enter, and it will give you that fraction bar. Then you could just plug it in exactly the way you see it, without commas, of course. So I've got negative parentheses 44,000 to parentheses negative 2,000, and that would eliminate having to do the top and the bottom separately. And I get 11. So I have x equals 11. Now, once you have your x, you can go ahead and plug that in. And we have y equals negative 2,000, 11 squared, plus 44,000 times 11. Negative 2,000, parentheses, 11. The square button is right here. Plus 44,000 times 11. And we have y equals 242,000. 242,000. So when I'm graphing this, remember this is going to be a parabola. It looks like a rainbow. The vertex is going to be the axis of symmetry, kind of like a butterfly or a heart. You've got a heart. The axis of symmetry is right down the middle, and they are the same. Okay, didn't look so well on there. So the axis of symmetry is going to be right down the middle, where both sides are equivalent. So here's my x, and here's my y at 242,000. So my question to you is, if the middle is 11, so if half the rainbow is 11, what's the width of the rainbow? Okay, so if half the rainbow is 11, the width is 22. So it's double. This is 11, that's 11, 11 and 11 is 22. So now we have the vertex, which is 11, comma, 242,000. We labeled the vertex. Here's the height, and here's the width. Let's do another one. Here's my ABCs, A, B plus C. So C is 0. X is negative B over 2A. What's B? Shout it out. What's B? 3,200. All over 2A. What's A? Negative 125. And I'm going to put it in my calculator with my newfound function of alpha y equals, and that gives me that numerator denominator. Hit enter, and then I could just plug it in. Negative 3,200. Remember, if you're getting an error, that means that you're not using the negative button and you're using the minus button. So make sure that you're using the negative. Over 2 parentheses, negative 125. X equals X equals math. Let's do a decimal. 12.8. So I just went to math and said, hey, math, I don't like fractions. Change it to a decimal, and I got 12.8. I'm going to plug and chug, and I'm going to plug that in for P, and I get negative 125 times 12.8 in parentheses squared plus 3,200 times 12.8. And I'm just going to shove it in my calculator exactly like I see it. Negative 125. I was getting decimal happy there for a second. Parentheses 12.8 squared plus 3,200 parentheses 12.8. And we have 20,480. 20,480. I'm going to, all the graphs are going to look like this. I mean, that's the graph of a square. And I'm going to label. What is X? What's the axis of symmetry? What's the axis of symmetry? 12.8. What's the height? What's the height? 20,480.